1006 days left till the new halving. Current fear and greed index is at 71%, which is greed. And Bitcoin is currently trading above our support, which was yesterday resistance, 45.5k area. Currently we are slightly $200 above this area. Our closest support is 45.5k, and after that is gonna be a 42k, this uptrend support, and slight top of 42 area, which is 43. So for our time frame is obviously looking bullish. We had a close above 45.5k. We are currently above MA ribbon, MACD neutral, RSI slightly overbought, volume is mostly more than average. Daily time frame obviously bullish, above 200 MA. Now 200 MA can curve to the downside, closer to the 50 MA, and 50 MA is closer to the upside and closer to the 100 MA and closer to our favorite golden cross. That will be a bullish sentiment, obviously, huge bullish sentiment. Currently we are on a daily, had a huge green candle. MACD neutral, in general MA daily time frame is looking bullish, above MA ribbon, and RSI obviously overbought. Weekly looking also bullish as always, no changes on a weekly, so that's pretty much all TA for today. Everything is still looking bullish, a lot of support, a lot of bullish sentiment on all time frames. And let's move on to the news that I don't want to talk about, because there's infrastructure bill that we should talk about, but obviously I don't want to speculate. So let's start with the positive news. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna skip those news. US consumers accept inflation on the recent surveys. It's pretty much old news. So crypto exchange CoinDCX hits unicorn status in India. So we got some yesterday we got some unicorn status from Indonesia. Now we got from India. So funding will go towards hiring efforts, including doubling the exchange business team in the next 6 months to around 400 people, which is pretty much what we've seen in Indonesia. Yesterday we were talking about some growth there. And obviously I'm pretty sure everybody knows what AMC is. AMC to accept Bitcoin for tickets and concessions later this year. So that's pretty much all positive news that we got for today. And US senators and Treasury reach agreement on crypto requirements in infrastructure bill. Oh, okay. 5 US senators have been working with the Treasury Department and have come up with compromise crypto amendment to the $1 trillion infrastructure bill. So the quote: "We worked with the Treasury Department to clarify the underlying text and ensure that those who are not acting as brokers will not be subject to the bill's reporting requirement." So what's the requirements if you're a broker? The main ones. Obviously you gotta report to 10k plus transactions to the SEC, and obviously you gotta pay taxes, and you gotta need to register as a online digital asset exchange. So the main problems with this bill, specifically obviously uncertainty on the term brokers and uncertainty on liquidity providers, because I'm pretty sure nobody on a layer 1 will not be touched by this bill. So anybody who's doing transactions on a layer 1 will not be touched by this bill, but everyone who's a liquidity provider or using a second layer will be required to will be defined as a broker. For example, the main question that people, for example, asking, it's a Lightning Network, because Lightning Network is a liquidity provider, but I'm pretty sure the maximum transactions on a Lightning Network is like less than $1,000. So what's gonna be and other question, how transactions will be defined by the SEC, because I'm pretty sure SEC doesn't have term blockchain transaction or inside of blockchain transactions in a SEC. So does they gonna have like transactions per day or transaction per hour, or how they gonna define the transaction? Because again, for us obviously that makes sense, like transactions on a blockchain, it's gonna be less than 1,000, so obviously those transactions will not be defined, will not be the subject for reports for the SEC, for example. But Lightning Network obviously will be defined as a broker because that's a liquidity provider. And other topics, it's altcoins, and you've seen probably a lot of volatility recently in the altcoins, because when somebody is creating altcoin, the creator should be a liquidity provider, because at the beginning, because the coin would have zero cost of $0 per coin. So at the beginning, literally anyone who's a creator of any altcoin will become he is a liquidity provider at the beginning. After that, he probably sells and dumps and goes to some islands, as any out of the 30 doji creators probably did. But you get the point. So everybody who gonna create some new altcoins will be a liquidity provider at the beginning. So does they gonna need to be defined as a brokers at the beginning, or does they need to be report to the SEC? How that would work? But I'm pretty sure the current altcoins are not be defined, would not have problems, because they are pretty big. Like any altcoins who has like $1 billion market cap, I'm pretty sure they are not worried about. And major coins definitely not. So it's one of the problems. So what other problems? Obviously, you can see there's some pressure, or let's just say, and again, it's my perspective, SEC is trying to send the message to the exchanges, which obviously will be defined as a brokers. For example, Folonix, that's a crypto exchange that was registered in 2K14, pretty old one, and this exchange had problems with the SEC from 2K17, like for more than for like 4 years they had the problems, and only now SEC fines Folonix with $10 million for operating unregistered crypto exchange. During this bill that is being right now talked about, that is being that is being pushed to the Senate and to the Republicans after Senate, obviously. So you can see SEC is already starting to make some moves and create some pressure. So the recent news, SEC fines Folonix with $10 million for operating unregistered crypto exchange, so which is unregistered online digital asset exchange by definition of SEC. So the problem, SEC explained that the platform was available to US investors, and again that's the term, US investors, but Folonix did not register as a national security exchange and was not exempt from registration, its failure to do so for a violation of Section 5, blah, blah, blah. So the term US investor, that's one of the two problems that SEC have with the Pholonix. First one, that's unregistered online digital asset exchange, and second one, that's a US investor. So what does it mean? Technically, again, this infrastructure bill will be applied to the United States and anybody who is using United States investors, so US investors, obviously. So people are worried. Another topic why people are worried. It's companies, exchanges from US will move to the other countries, but if you're, for example, registered on Ireland, in Cayman Islands, or any other country, island, whatever the case, the place you are using, and if you are using US investor, you still should be applied for the term as a broker, and you should be you should do reports to the SEC because you are using as a US investor. So people are worried US exchanges and companies or any entities that is applied to the brokers will move to the other countries and will block US investors to access to these entities. And they just gonna use like EU investors, some Asian investors like China, Korea, Japan, where it's when bill is, I mean, everything like Mexico, literally any country except US, which is pretty wild to think about, but it's actually pretty realistic because, for example, Pholonix, it's actually pretty hard to find where this company is registered on, but on a browse on a jobs website in a Pholonix, I found the headquarter is at Boston, which is a US, but also they have some registered public company in China, which is Shenzhen, because they are hiring someone from China right now. So maybe, and again, maybe they're gonna move on to the, yeah, I'm not gonna speculate, it's pretty stupid, I don't want to do that. So you get the point, what amount of problems this bill has, and why I don't want to talk about this bill, because again, a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainty, and again, the only way we're gonna understand how this bill works, only when it came to the action. Right now, all of these talks, it's nothing, because again, this bill can be changed till the, oh my god, I forgot where till the 2K33. So obviously right now is only talks, but when there's gonna be the action, when this bill will be into effect, we'll see obviously a lot of changes. But obviously till that day, all of these companies can move on to the other countries, to other places, so it already can have some effect. So that's why people is already being worried about this bill. Oh, finally we talk about this infrastructure bill. I skipped like 2 or 3 days of talking about this bill because it's such a mess. It's just, oh my god. So also you can follow us on Twitter, you can follow us on any podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, any podcast is there, or YouTube, you can listen to us there. Obviously, there's gonna be final update about this infrastructure bills. Currently, it's under at the House of Republicans, and we'll see what's gonna happen after that. So yeah, guys. But Bitcoin, again, we forgot, we are Bitcoin hodlers. As a Bitcoin hodlers, everything is fine, everything is bullish, and we should be excited about it. So yeah, to the moon.